Hi, my name is Shreyasi. I conducted an event on fable writing today. The main agenda for this workshop was to write environmental fables, thinking about the present crisis that we are in. Uh, so the workshop was basically divided into three parts, which was beginning, middle, and end. I uh, I tried to understand these three structures of a traditional story, but also rephrase it into seeing the dots, connecting the dots, and creating your own dots.
Context, because fables teach a moral lesson, and they're particularly useful for children who can engage with a story in a tale, but at the same time learn something about the nature of reality. And I think this particularly in relation to such works as The Lorax by Dr. Seuss, or Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak.
You get unique creativity and imagination, and I can feel my imagination drying up. And so I saw this course and thought, that's fantastic. I can look at nature with fresh eyes again. So that's why I came along, and it succeeded. It was a wonderful afternoon, 2 hours, where my brain feels refreshed, and it's given me sort of wonderful creative ways to try and tell the story of what's going on out in the rural parts of Canterbury district.
The martlet is a mythological bird without any feet. And the idea is that it flies and flies until it dies. And so I've thought what happens when the martlet does land, and I thought it would be cool if it turned into stone for a fable.
With prompts from the organisers of the talks, and I found my inner fable, and I will go away and rewrite it and hopefully come up with something.
For fable itself, also experiment with it, considering we are in a very immediate crisis at the moment of also telling stories.
I like the nuts on the side with the baby carved in the tree. I saw my brothers and sisters die. Archie went on the windscreen of the number 3 bus. Alice under the wheels of an ambulance. And Albert, he was unrecognisable, just a tail length.
So I wrote about choughs, which are the traditional bird of Canterbury, and it's on the Canterbury coat of arms, but they've become threatened in Kent, and they've just started, Kent Wildlife Trust have just started a new breeding programme, and they've just this year released the first few pairs out into the environment, and there was a story from them in the news that the first chick had been lost. So I wrote it from the chough parents' point of view, and then looked at the idea that the choughs might see little boats coming across and feel that the people on the little boats perhaps weren't being welcomed, so maybe they should hide their chick. Maybe the chick didn't die at all, maybe they hid it because they thought it might be threatened in the same way as the people arriving might be. That's what I did.
I came to this event really to discover the fable as a way of communicating, and it has provoked many thoughts about sort of like the analogies that you can draw, the structure of the fable, and how that can be used to communicate a message.
This was a great workshop. I particularly liked the way it thought about storytelling as a way of making positive environmental interventions and sort of subverting the way that we often use beasts to tell terrible stories about particular kinds of animals. So it was great fun. A really nice way of exploring creative writing and seeing how arts and humanities research can make a real difference in the salient environmental questions of the hour. I also really liked it because it enabled me to be feral for a couple of hours and indulge my sort of inner non-human voice.
Fable is very important genre because it is a very old tradition, something we've been telling to each other from when the literature started.
The turtle, with its deep green wrinkles, told the fox that she had met it once when they were young. Stationary and quiet, the martlet landed on the ground in front of the fox.
Once upon a time, there lived a town filled with lots of people, flourishing with so much greenery, sunshine, hustling and bustling in the market, and more. People in the town had no worry in the world and go to bed at the end of the day. One cloudy morning, the town woke up to no greenery, sunshine covered in a shroud of smoke.
One thing that I really want to tell people who are watching this is that read fables, but also create your own fables. Read stories, but also create your own stories. Pay attention to stories that are happening around you, especially when they are very invisible and they're not in traditional way. If you're watching this, please pay attention to stories that are happening around you. Pay attention to people and non-human life. Thank you.